Hello, welcome back to Cheetah Bar Garage. Today I am replacing the front passenger window on a 2013 Nissan Versa Note hatchback. And this model has the manual window crank. And so for the first clip here, I'd like to show you how to get that window crank out. As you can look here, there's a clip right in the top. See how it spring-loaded clip? This mounts on the door here, and you have to reach down behind it with a hooked wire or a pick tool. And I just used this hooked piece of wire and reached down between, grabbed the hook and pulled it out, and it went flying, but I found it. And so this piece of plastic is there, this is here, so it's pretty tight to get down in there to get it off. And then to reinstall it, all you have to do is put the spring clip back in, and then it press fits back on there. So I'm going to take the rest of the door panel off. Okay, looks like the next part that has to come out. So I cleaned out some of the debris in the door handle here. It looks like about a T20 star bit that's got to come out of the door handle. Okay, I got it cleaned out, and it looks like it's one of these red tipped T15 size star screws, and then this whole pocket comes out. So the door handle comes out, it's just friction, plastic tabs, and then there's one more screw on the inside holding the panel, and then you just pull and pop the plastic pops and then lift up over the sill. Okay, the door handle stays put, and then you just lift the panel up over the sill. It's kind of firm. And if there's no electronics, like this one, there's nothing to disconnect. Okay, so this vehicle had a rock and jump up off the road, bounce off the mirror, and break right here. And that was a couple, 3 hours worth of driving away from here. And I took the time to layer strips of packing tape on the inside and the outside. I don't know if that shows up very well, but the packing tape held all of this window in place for the whole, close to 4 hours driving, 3.5, 4 hours driving. But you can see here, it's all crumbled away where it wasn't taped. Clear down, I'm gonna have to take the plastic off to get in the door, but this glass was all held together with the packing tape and stayed in place, where everything down to the brackets crumbled. Here's a shot down inside the door cavity where you can see all the broken glass is collected. I will have to move the door hardware or the window hardware down, the window crank hardware down to install so I can get to the screws that hold it there, but everything below the sill of the window is down in the door. So that will be shot backed out. Okay, I thought you'd probably want to see the glass come out. Got gloves and eye protection on. Okay, I've got the window out, and I've got this rubber strip out from around the window. And now I want to bring the window gear mechanism down. So I took the retainer pin off of the handle so I can just fit it on the door here, on the window mechanism. Bring that window mechanism down to where I can get to the screws. Where's the other one going to be? I'd have to go through the door here. So these window glass brackets are a little stubborn. Had to get a 10 millimeter bit, break them loose, and then finish unscrewing them. The Phillips head screw was just stripping out. Okay, since the glass is held in at 2 points, we've got a bracket back here, and then there's a bracket about right here. So there is no real good access point. So it looks like there's a 10 millimeter screw here. And then this slides back and down. I don't know if you can see it in there. That's how you get the other screw. Okay, so here's a tricky problem. The screw is right in there. You can see it, that bottom square hole. But this hole is only big enough for a screwdriver head, and the Phillips head screwdriver wants to strip. So I'm going to be using the nut driver, but the nut driver bit doesn't fit through that hole. So I'm going to reach through this access hole, put the nut driver bit on the nut, put the drill through the hole onto the bit, remove it, and if it falls, there's a great big pocket here to pick up the pieces. Okay, got the new glass positioned. It really just kind of drops in to the opening. It's a pretty wide opening once you have that rubber gasket all the way out. There's no real trick to that. I've got the first one hand tight. These holes are that the screws go through this metal bracket are kind of oblong. It wanders just a little bit, so I'm not going to fully tighten those till I get the rubber seal in and I roll it all the way up so it can have a chance to position itself. Then I'll roll it back down and tighten it. And then this one, that little guy hiding in there, I can't see because the light's not in the right angle. There it is. You have to go through that square hole to get that one. Again, I put the the nut driver bit through this hole with my left hand, then use my right hand on the screwdriver and tightened it up there. And I did drop it, and I had to go fish it out of the bottom. Okay, what's going on here is a little tricky. I don't know if you can see that. That's the glass in the groove with the rubber seal sliding down the metal groove, overlapping the glass, because this rubber seal has to slide down that channel down to the glass. And so you've got to make sure that you catch it. You catch the glass, capture the glass in the middle of the channel of the rubber gasket as you find its way to the bottom. Okay, that rubber window gasket just goes back in the way it came out. Pretty simple. And then just going to roll the window back up. Make sure it seats properly all the way around. Looks good. I'm going to roll it down enough to tighten. Okay, so next to the last step, put the plastic water barrier back up. The tar hardened and wasn't any good, so I just used electrical tape. Okay, door panel goes back on first with the windowsill tucked in, and then just press to fit all the way around. And there's no screws except for the one right here under the door handle. Okay, last two steps is get this door handle back in. That's a T15 bit, not a T20. And then the next step is the window crank. Make sure you stage your retention pin so that it's already loaded in there. And then you can just straight press to a click. And we got a window. And you're done.